Well, since I did not do any reviews recently, I was supposed to do it on Saturday, but something came up. But today we're going to do that. So we're going to be reviewing, of course, MLW Blood and Thunder, featuring, of course, a three-way match in the women's division. Our current women's champion, Shotzi Blackheart, Scarlett Bordeaux, and Lady Frost taking on each other. Then we move on, of course, with Alan Angels taking on, of course, Glasgow Boy on top leader, Joe Coffey in action. And then finally, the main event, the MLW World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Killer Cross is defended against Satoshi Kojima. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Then we move on, of course, with week 3 of AAA Verano de Escandalo. Now, however, they are still determining to fill up the spots for the four-corner match for the vacancy of the AAA Latin American Championship. So that's going to be a lot of fun as well. Then we have a very interesting match between Noisy Boy and I believe I forgot Jack Cartwheel. But the main event, of course, is the AAA Reinade Reinas Championship. Lady Flamer defends it against La Catalina and Lady Shotty. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. And then finally, of course, AEW Collision, featuring, of course, the first round matches of the AEW Continental Cup. So that's going to be a lot of interesting things going around. Now, it does follow the same parameters as the Continental Classic. So we'll see how things will go there. And we have plenty other matches as well. And then, of course, as always, we wrap up our episode, as usual, with some news updates, giving you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of wrestling, such as what events or promotions are thrown out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready with another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere where pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We even, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We even, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We even, of course, do some real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We even, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us and click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or nice comments in the description down below. Now, enough of the jibber jabbers. Let's get down to business. So let's begin, of course, with MLW Blood and Thunder. Alright, MLW Blood and Thunder. We open up with a three-way match in the women's division. We have Scarlett Bordeaux versus Lady Frost versus our current MLW Women's World Champion, Shotzi Blackheart. Now, the reason this match happened was because, as you know, Scarlett Bordeaux, as you probably can guess, she is now aiming for the championship. But she's not the only one. So that also became known as by Lady Frost. She also aims for it. But the real question how this is going to go, I don't know if this is like a way to say, okay, would this be a match be possible? Who knows? But as you can guess, there was going to be a lot of confusion going around how it's going to end, of course, because it's a three-way guy. I mean, when you see a pinfall or a submission, the third person could get involved, and that's something that we could see. But, however, it was in fact Lady Frost with the Frostbite, which is the moonsault, defeated Scarlett Bordeaux, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, boom, it's over. So the real question is, does Lady Frost has an opportunity for a shot of the MLW World Women's Championship? We'll just have to wait and see what the decision is going to be made. Now, a few things have come around before we get to the next match. As you know, Joseph Samael is back in the helm of Contra Unit. He is making a proclamation. But however, MLW, as you know, had suffered enough by Joseph Samael in the past. And now they're increasing security to ensure things go smoothly. Now, we did have, of course, Corinne Joyce, someone who's been on social media, making her declaration on the women's division and, of course, her upcoming appearance to MLW. Now, were informed in a bit of a vignette where Hate member Sayaka Mitani will be coming soon. As you know, Stardom and MLW formed a strategic partnership, so we will see that coming as well. Still unclear when it's going to happen, but I'll let you guys know when that will. Now, before our next match, we did see Matt Riddle talking to Killer Kross. Now, as you know, Matt Riddle is trying to reclaim the MLW World Heavyweight title from Killer Kross, who is the one person that he lost the belt to. So, as you know, that's been his goal from the very beginning since losing it. So he's trying to ensure he finds a way to get it. Now, I remember, he did have an opportunity, but that was spoiled by Alex Hammerstone. So it's still unclear what's going to happen. But right now, Killer Kross's only focus is against Satoshi Kojima. So you can guess that is the main reason what's going on there. Now, our next match, we have Alan Angels taking on Joe Coffey, the leader of Glasgow Boys on top, or as formerly know them, Gallus, of course. But of course, we know that Joe Coffey is determined to prove their point, their dominance, how dangerous they can be, and he took them out with the Discus Lariat, or as we call it, the Belfast, or whatever. I don't know if they are allowed to call that, but I'll just call it the Discus Lariat just to be safe here. But just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. However, during the post-match comments, well, they just revealed that they had a hand of what happened to Teddy Long. Yes, so as you know, personally, I thought it was Contra Unit, but it turns out it was them. Don't know what was the main reason, but of course, LeBron Cozone is not going to take that too kindly with someone like these guys attacking someone who had nothing to do with them. But of course, these guys were trying to prove their point of their dominance. I mean, we've seen this type of thing before, but we'll see. Now, our main event, we have the MLW World Heavyweight Championship. Satoshi Kojima making an aim again, and he's also a former champion. Don't forget that, folks. He's facing Killer Kross, who's been well known throughout the wrestling world of his capability. But man, it was a pretty good match. But, however, Killer Kross put him away with, of course, the sleeper hold, and just like that, boom, done. And then, of course, Killer Kross performed the kneeling down and bowing in front of Kojima. Then Matt Riddle, of course, showed up, of course, as you probably guessed, that's what he's going to do, trying to get another opportunity of the MLW World Heavyweight title, but we'll see where that leads from there. But as of right now, we are done with MLW. Let's move on with, of course, AAA with Week 3 of Verano de Escandalo. Okay, we are now in Week 3 of AAA's Verano de Escandalo. For those who want to know what that means in translation, it means Summer of Scandal. Obviously, it's been well documented what that means, of course, throughout the past. But anyway, we opened up, of course, with the qualifying match for the four corner of the vacancy of the AAA Latin American Championship. Now, this time we have Cruz del Toro versus Fiscal versus Psycho Clown. So obviously this is going to be an opportunity to try to get the third spot. Now remember, we already have Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. involved, and so does I forgot who else, La Parca. So right now this is the third spot. Things were looking well in this match, but however, the moment Psycho Clown was pushed out of the way, out of nowhere, from behind in the stands, an unknown guy attacked Psycho Clown and beat him senselessly. Even beat up two fans. It's still unclear what's going on. Even Corey Graves and I'm gonna say both sides of the commentary booth were in fact shocked to see what's going on. No one knows what it is, but I can say this: could this person be responsible with the heinous attacks towards Psycho Circus? I mean, Psycho Clown's buddies. I mean, we know that recently there has been attacks on everyone but one by one, and the much recent victim was Pagano. Could this guy be responsible for their attack? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, the match going on, Fiscal and Cruz del Toro. I don't know exactly where this was gonna be, but it ended with Fiscal applying like, it looked more like a frog splash, but Corey Graves called it a big splash. I'm not sure, but yes. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now he is now in the third spot of the four corners, so we got one more. So week 4 might reveal it. Now we still don't know who this attacker is, but we'll find out soon enough. Now our next match, we have Noisy Boy versus Jack Cartwheel, a very awesome high-flying tactic. I mean, it was a pretty good match. But, I mean, I'm a big fan of Jack Cartwheel. I mean, he is a fantastic wrestler, guys. And he really impresses me every single time. But he was able to take out Noisy Boy with the corkscrew spin. I don't know what you call it. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. However, during the post-match, we saw Carmen Petrovic coming down the ramp. And we all know what that means. It means if she coming down the ramp, that means the dogs are heading their way. I'm referring to Los Perros Del Mal, and they took out both Noisy Boy and Jack Cartwheel. And of course, once again, Daga is making a statement about what they're trying to do. And not to mention, they even had a surprise. Turns out someone who used to be an original member of Los Perros Del Mal has arrived, and that person is Damian 666. For many who may not remember, he was a member of Los Perros De Mal when Perro Aguayo Jr. was still alive. And that brings him back into the fold. So, basically, in order to bring in an old dog to teach new dogs how things should be, what they need to do, how to guide them, I think this is the right guy. So, yes. So, we'll see where that goes. Now, we did have an interview with Andrea, of course, talking to Dominic Mysterio about what happened last week. Now, Andrea, we all know that she is Grande Americano's girlfriend. And of course, he talked about the Gringos 2.0, that sort of thing. And then he talked about a lot, you know, about how Grande Americano is a false Mexican, how people just accept him, and he wasn't going to take that kindly. But of course, while he was saying this interview's done, Liv Morgan showed up. But you can tell this is more like, you know, you keep your mouth shut towards my man and I won't hurt yours. But I wouldn't be surprised if we did see, like, these two come across. But sooner or later, Grande Americano will get his hands on Dominic to pay back for walking out on him, and 2, getting his hands on the AAA Mega Championship. Now, our main event is the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship. Now, for those who don't know what Reina de Reina means, it means Queen of Queens in translation. So, this is their women's title, in case anybody has forgotten. But yes, we have Lady Shani and La Catalina. Now, it's obviously these two women want this belt. Lady Shani is a former champion of the Reina de Reinas, and Catalina hasn't held this belt just yet, versus Lady Flamer. And of course, when it comes to 3-ways, it's also unpredictable. We don't know how this. Now, technically, Lady Flamer doesn't need to be pinned in this matter. But yes, I'm sure that crossed the minds of both Lady Shani and Catalina. But unfortunately, this match ended when La Catalina had Lady Shani right where she wanted her when she took her out with a running knee strike. But however, Lady Flamer being opportunistic took advantage of that, kicked Catalina out and pinned Lady Shani, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, she retained the championship. So it sucks, but it ended in that way. So we'll see what happens down the road. But as of right now, we are officially done with AAA. Let's move on with our last review, AEW Collision. Alright, so we're now in AEW Collision, our last review, so let's get started. We opened up, of course, with the first round match of the AEW Continental Cup. We have, of course, Claudia Castagnoli, former ROH World Champion and former CML World Champion, taking on Ace Austin. Now, of course, some people would say Ace Austin doesn't measure up to this, but I have to say Ace Austin did a fantastic job. I mean, yes, size does matter, but when it comes to Ace Austin, he put up a hell of a fight. I mean, I can't compare him to Rey Mysterio due to his size, but he showed why he belongs in this ring. But unfortunately, he was taken out by Claudio when he applied a high up altitude uppercut, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, he continues on to the next round. Now, we do see our next match, the Brawling Birds, Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor taking on Vert Vixen and Viva Van. Now, obviously, for those who may not remember, this past Wednesday, it was announced that, of course, the Birds will have an opportunity for AEW the women's tag team belts and All In. So you can tell that this is a bit of a warm-up for them until they get there. But they were able to take out Vert Vixen with the 2 birds and 1 stone, and Jamie Hayter picked up the win. 1, 2, 3, it was over. However, the Divine Dominion's music turned on, and then, of course, they were sneaked attacked from behind by Divine Dominion, proving their dominance, showing them, you're not taking these belts off of us, bitches. That's the kind of attitude they're trying to show them. But the real question is, can the Brawling Birds do it? Every tag team have tried, but they all failed. But we'll see. Now, we continue more with the AEW Continental Cup. In the first round matches, we have, of course, Freshly Squeezed taking on Matt Sydal. And I thought it was a very fantastic match. Now, obviously, we all know that Orange Cassidy is an unorthodox wrestler. Now, that has never failed him at all, because that's always been who he is. And we've seen that countless times with him. But he was able to take an opportunity when he applied the beach break, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, boom, it was over. So basically, he proceeded to the next level. However, he did state it, look, it doesn't matter what's going to happen. We haven't reached there, but he is not an idiot. He knows that sooner or later, he may have to face one of his own conglomeration teammates. So it's still unclear how that's going to be, but we'll see. Now, Jon Moxley, of course, in the back was happy with Claudio's result of winning his first round match in the Continental Cup. But, of course, for Moxley, his opponent is going to be Jack Perry. So he will be meeting him in a 8-man tag match, what we'll be seeing very soon. Now, our next match, we have the Rascals, Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier taking on Steven Fuerte and Aaron Solo. Obviously, we all know that this match was a bit of a, okay, the Rascals going to win. Yes, and they did when they applied that one move, Hot Fire, by Zach, but it was Xavier who was the legal person that pinned Fuerte, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, boom. However, of course, they did a promo talking about Colorado. Since they arrived in AEW, they actually won their first match there. And not to mention that they are good in tag team, trios, and in singles. So, however, Myron Reed made it clear that now he is going to face Speedball. And that's where we jump in. It was a fantastic match between Myron Reed and Speedball. I mean, Myron Reed, he is the young GOAT. That's what he is. He does some fantastic moves. He would surprise you like you wouldn't be surprised. And he pulls it off very, very well. But Mike Bailey, he was able to take him out with the Spanish Fly. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, boom, it was over. Now, we did see a video promo from the Dogs, of course, David Finlay and what's his name, Clark Connors. Now, many of you may have heard that Jay White will face David Finlay in the Continental Cup. Obviously, this is one of those matches we definitely want to see. And of course, they are determined to prove that they are a much dangerous and dominant force than the Bang Bang Gang. So we'll see what happens from there. Now, our next match is a women's tag team match. We have Hikaru Shida and Persephone. They take on High-End and, of course, our TBS champion, Maya World. Now, of course, we know that High-End and Maya World are a good tag team. They have been very well together, and not to mention, even they're good in singles as well. But they're facing, of course, Hikaru Shida, a former 3-time AEW Women's Champion, former TBS Champion, Persephone, a former Mexican National Champion and CML Women's World Champion. So you can tell how that is going to be. But however, it was Shida that put away High-End, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, boom, it was done. Now, we did see an interview with Kevin Knight, as you know. Well, an All-In is now going to happen where he'll be defending the TNT Championship in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Now, of course, Kevin Knight knows exactly what Darby Allin wants, so he knows exactly who he is, so he's well prepared. But the real question is Darby Allin is, so we'll see where that plays out too. Our next match, we have members of the Bang Bang Gang, Juice Robinson and the Guns, Austin and Colton. They team up with Jack Perry to take on the Death Riders, Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia, the Bastard Pack, and Jon Moxley. Now, this is a preview for Jack Perry and Jon Moxley, who will see each other later on in the Continental Cup. So you can tell how that was going to be. And of course, we know the kind of tactics that the Death Riders do. They do awesome tactics, but when it comes to the moments where the Death Riders are in the verge of losing, well, of course, the problem decided to solve the problem by interfering. And because of that, it led to Colton to be taken out by the Psycho Knee by Wheeler Yuta, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, Mike Bailey put out a promo. He just revealed that he will be facing in the number 2 spot of the Casino Gauntlet match that will happen in All In. But it turns out he's not the only one who is determined to step in. So is Nick Wayne, the prodigy. So basically, they're all talking. So Nick Wayne is confident enough to think that he will take out both Mike Bailey or MJF in that. But to be honest with you, I think, well, I would like to see MJF take out Nick Wayne, because, you know, it'll show for MJF saying that not Nick Wayne is on his level. So I would see that. Now, as you all know, that the wrestling world are reacting to the sudden passing of Dory Funk Jr. Well, of course, AEW decided to pay the respects for him, so it's great to hear that they're doing that too. Now, Lex Nier actually conducted an interview. Apparently, the Shane Taylor Promotions has called out the Hurt Syndicate, and they are paying them money to hire for their services. So basically, they told them they'll keep in touch. Now, I don't know exactly what Shane Taylor is up to. I know Shane Taylor is determined to prove that they are the strongest force, that they are willing to beat up anybody that stands in the way, to prove that they are the most dangerous group. But the real question is, can they? I mean, we'll see. Now, we did see Jack Perry and the Bang Bang Gang in the back. Obviously, Mox and Barry will see each other sooner or later, but we'll see. But of course, the Bang Bang Gang has one thing that they have in their sights, is the Dogs, who they've been dealing with recently since the return of Jay White. But we'll find out. Now, our main event is the first round of the AEW Continental Cup. We have Jake Doyle representing the Don Faggot family, of course, versus the Mad King, Eddie Kingston. So, of course, this is going to be a hoss fight between both these men. I mean, Eddie Kingston, he loves to fight. He's a fighter. He doesn't back down from anybody's BS, even if people tried to tell him otherwise. But he fought to the fullest until he put Jake Doyle in a submission, and just like that, Boom! He is out. So that means Eddie Kingston will proceed on. Now remember, he has won the AEW Continental Championship before, but now it could happen again. So we'll see what happens until then. But now, let's wait till next week. So, we're done with all the reviews, so let's wrap our episode with some news updates. Alright, so welcome to our news update. So let's begin, of course, with upcoming events. Now, as you know, Jersey Championship Wrestling, or as we call it, JCW, have their upcoming event breakdown that will happen in Richfield Park on the 6th of September, so we're only 1 month away. They did announce that the JCW World Championship will be defended. The root of all evil, Charles Mason will defend it against, of course, a former champion, Jordan Oliver. Now, this promotion, many of you may know, called ETU, announced an event called Marcus Mathers All I Want For. So this will happen on the 19th of September, and names have now been mentioned. Of course, the guy whose name is on it, Marcus Mathers, will be in it. They announced Gravity, who many of you know is Bandito's real life brother, and then of course the bad boy Joey Janela. And then finally, as you know, more on the Kitsune women's wrestling event that will happen in Hollywood called Kamiyu Goes Hollywood, which is of course Yuki Kamifuki's show that will be her final show here in the States before she retires at the end of this year. They announced Lex Gonzalez, Kitsune, Lynette Stray, Becca, Nala Zaeta, and Alley Catch. So these are names that have been mentioned. However, they did announce a match that will be taking place that day. Nula Rose will take on Miku Alana. So yes, so I'm looking forward to that. Now let's move on to, of course, up to developments that are happening in the world of wrestling. TNA has, Fightful Select reports that TNA are planning to bring in more women's into TNA since the exit of Mara Shade and Jody Threat. Now remember, Mara Shade's deal with TNA has expired, so basically there'll be more to come. So it's still unclear who they're going to get. We'll be following with this when they announce it. Now, PW Insider reports about Catalina that they're saying that they expected her to be in WWE. She's been, of course, at the PC Center this week. However, it's still unclear whether she'll pop up in NXT. Now, to be fair, I have seen her in NXT before. This was during the time with Andrade and Zelina Vega when they were still pairing. Catalina teamed up with Sin Cara at the time. Not the original, of course. But yes, that was the last time. But Catalina had a mask, but now she doesn't have that right now. So we'll see when that happens. So if there's any update on that. Now, I don't know PW Insider if this is 100% or true, but they're happening right at certain times. But we'll see. Now, many of you know that this past Tuesday we saw Miles Bourne is now a double champion. He is the current NXT North American champion, and now he is one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions with Tavion Heights. Well, it was reported that his girlfriend, Stephanie Vaquer, was there on that day when he won it, so she wanted to be there. And I have to say, that is love right there, guys. Yes, I mean, I'm sure that's what Miles Bourne did for her when she won her first title when going to the main roster. So yes, so I thought it was really nice. Steph De Lander, it was reported, of course, that she will be no longer appearing in Produce. It's still unclear what's going on. I know that Produce had some issues with certain wrestlers. It's still unclear what it is, but she hasn't explained what the reason. I'm not sure if Produce will give that explanation themselves. Now, All Japan Pro Wrestling, as you know, they're acknowledging the passing of Dory Funk Jr. For many who don't know this, they had him there too, back in the golden era, of course, the golden days. But they will be doing will be doing a Cork and Hall event, of course, for them in remembrance for him, and it's called the Gekito Summer Action Wars, and this will be in Cork and Hall. So I'm happy to hear that they're doing that. Now, many of you may have been aware that recently Nula Rose has not been appearing. Apparently, she went on. Let me pull that up real quick for all of you. Where is it? That she has been working behind the scenes with AEW, and this is what she said. Mostly a little bit of backstage, behind the scenes stuff, and front of the AEW. But yeah, I've been questing turning up the Indies tour of Japan. So yes, so she is still working with AEW. I'm sure many people are questioning that, but yes, so she's doing all of that, and I'm glad to hear that she is behind the scenes and all that. Nattie actually spoke out about Avery Styles wants to pay his dues. This is what she said. I was able to go to GCW and watch Avery Styles and one of our dungeon students, Marcus Mathers, wrestle, and they blew me away. They blew me away. They're young and they are such presence. They just love this. They studied it. They think about it. They eat it, sleep, breathe, fight, scratch, claw, want this. So after the match, I went up to Avery Styles and Marcus, because Marcus has already trained with us in the dungeon. I was like, man, Avery, I would love to get you in the dungeon, because I love his passion. I love how he could feel his passion pouring through his soul, and I love in the match. What I really like that he didn't win the match. It showed me, and I said to Avery, I said, it showed me that you're willing to pay your dues, and that you're not just gonna come into the industry as AJ Styles' son, that he has some pampering and coddling. He wants to earn it. He wants to pay his dues, and I love it. So basically, Nattie is saying that he's not in it, using his father's name. He wants to make a name for himself, not as AJ Styles' son, but as Avery Styles. And I think that's important. I mean, yes, he is the son of AJ Styles. Don't get me wrong. But don't try to compare and say that, oh, he's in it because he's like that. Now, I haven't seen this yet, guys. But, however, MARIGOLD has a very interesting match that took place. Unagi Sayaka appeared, and she faced against Megaton. Now, I don't know exactly what happened, but this is what she said during this. A MARIGOLD, isn't it about time you guys started making a name for yourselves? Instead of trying to draw the crowd by bringing in wrestlers who might attract fans from other promotions, you should start by each of you standing firmly on your own 2 feet. Hey, Rasiogawa, the fish you let get away was a big one, huh? MARIGOLD, maybe I'll see you again if I feel like it. Now, some of you may question what big fish is she talking about. I don't know if she's referring to Utami Ayashida. I mean, maybe she is a big fish, not gonna lie, but it makes perfect sense. But let's see what happens. If I do review this latest MARIGOLD event, I'll put it out. But we'll see. But as of right now, let's call it a day. Alright, so I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Now, coming up, I will not be making any reviews until Tuesday, guys, but I'm trying to catch up with all of the 5-star Grand Prix and the G1 Climax events that I will do on a special episode, and I will be releasing it. And the same thing with Produce and Choco Pro at some point, but we'll see. I'm trying to catch up with everything as soon as possible, so stand by for that. But as of right now, that's the initial plan. But if I do have a chance to see the MARIGOLD show, I'll let you guys know. But as of right now, that's the idea. So until then, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.